Do you know what I did this weekend?
What?
I went to a friend of mine owns a cabin.
Okay.
And I went there this weekend.
Really? How was
yes,
it?
It was great.
Really? Tell me about that cabin.
So I can introduce you.
Is it a cabin or a house?
It's a house.
More of a house,
well,
right?
Yeah, it's more of a house.
More of a house.
Right. Like it's cabin feel, but it's a house.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But no, I took my daughters up and went hiking and did all that stuff. And
That's cool.
It was funny because they couldn't wait. We drove up Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So we stop at my favorite pit stop along the way, which is the general store right there at the Lee Heighton exit.
Oh, sure.
So we stop there and we get out of the car and my wife goes, oh, there's an Easter egg hunt at 11, right? And it's like, I don't know, 9 o'clock when we get there.
It's
right?
a couple hours.
Yeah, right. So she goes, I don't know if we can wait for that. And I'm like, just, so we walk around, do the petting zoo, all that stuff. Then we go inside the store, we come back out, we get to the car and my wife goes, oh my God, it's in 15 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's why I told you.
Okay.
Like 2 hours flew by like this, right? And then we do that and all that stuff.
Did you find any eggs?
Yeah, they actually did it a pretty cool way. They just literally had these buckets. There were dozens of kids there.
Oh, wow.
And they just spread them out all over. But instead of putting stuff inside the eggs, it was just about finding the eggs. Mm-hmm. Then they got to keep one. And as you exited, they had gifts and candy and stuff.
Oh, so that's cute.
Kids could just grab whatever they wanted.
How many kids were there?
Oh, there were dozens.
Oh, that's great.
But what I thought was really cool about it is like if my daughters would have picked up, I don't know, 50 eggs all with candy in them, they would have wanted all the candy, right? Because they picked the eggs and all that stuff. But because of the way they did it, it didn't matter how many eggs they picked. And as we were leaving, I was able to say, only 4 pieces of candy each, right? So I felt like as a parent, it gave me much more control over how much candy and stuff the kids got. And it was great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was an ingenious way of doing it, I thought.
So back to the cabin.
Oh, yeah. So the moment we left, I wanted to do some sightseeing, right? So I wanted to go to like Jim Thorpe and mine number 9 mine, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So I was all gung-ho about doing that stuff. And my one daughter refused to leave the car because she just wanted to get to the cabin.
Wow.
So we ended up at the cabin way earlier than I had anticipated.
Yep.
And then, we did stuff there.
Now, did you call the guy before you got there so he could turn the alarm off?
I may have forgotten that part because I may have been a little frustrated with the kids wanting to get there so early.
True, very true. For those of you who aren't picking up on the sarcasm, he's talking about my house in the Poconos that he's always welcome to go to. I just asked that call me a little bit beforehand so I could turn the alarm off because I get a link with my phone. Your alarm is going off. Oh, great. Fortunately, I knew you were coming. But sometimes I have friends because they know the lockbox code that just show up and they forgot to call me. It's like, why is my alarm going off now?
At least you knew I was coming that day. Right?
Exactly.
But no, it looks good.
Yeah, it's great, man. Yeah. It was, again, we had a flood there a couple years ago, and the insurance company really took care of us.
You can't use the word flood.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Actually, it was a water pipe break. You're right. You can't use the word flood. It's a water pipe break.
Anybody has that happen.
Yeah, it's true.
And
don't
you call
use the word flood.
Do not.
Yes.
You need flood insurance for floods.
Yes. So we had a water pipe break that put water all over the first floor. And we had to gut everything and just completely redo it. So since we were redoing downstairs, we figured, hey, we'll redo the upstairs too at the same time. And that's what we did. So it looks nice though, right? It looks really nice.
First thing my wife said was like, "Oh, it looks way more spacious and open than it was."
Well, it is. It's a lot more.
But we were there, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
And she still remembered, like that was her first, when she walked in, she was like, "Oh, it looks bigger."
Yeah, it does because it has a more open floor plan now, which is great. The colors look nice. Everything's more inviting. I added the recessed lighting. And the fan, maybe about a month or so ago, I put those in. It was a big open hole. I tell you about the squirrel. You know the squirrel story, right?
No.
Ever tell you about the squirrel story?
Squirrel in there?
So long story short,
once again, don't tell the insurance company it's a squirrel because rodents are excluded.
Fortunately, there was no damage, but the contractor who was doing the work, he was great. And then literally just dropped off the face of the earth. No emails, no texts, no phone calls, nothing. Nothing from this guy. His website shut down, everything. God forbid, I hope he didn't die or something like that. But we have not heard from this guy. We haven't heard boo from him. Well, there was a giant hole in our ceiling, a 4 foot by 2 foot hole in the ceiling, right? And I kept like, are you going to come fix this? You're going to take care of it, blah, blah, blah. Now, I had no time to go up to the house, right? This was in like September when the hole occurred, or when the hole was there, because it was one of the last things it was fixing, was going to put the ceiling fan in and stuff. And I had no chance to get up there. And like 2 months later, my Ring alarm goes off and says there's, your alarm's going off in the house for motion detected in the kitchen, which is where the hole was. Like, but no doors open. What the heck's going on? And I turn on the camera, and there's a squirrel hanging from the chandelier, swinging back and forth, trying to get back up into the hole it came from. So I'm like, oh gosh, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm thinking, look, I got to get up there. I have no choice. Now, I have this groundhog trap at home because we get a bunch of groundhogs, and it works beautifully. It's a big steel cage. You put, the groundhogs apparently love cantaloupe.
Okay.
If you ever want to catch a groundhog, cantaloupe. Okay. Can't believe it. And it works with squirrels too. So I take the cage down. Squirrels are like mice. They love peanut butter. So I take the cage up there. I walk in the house, and my couch is to the left, and I'm looking, and the squirrel's just looking at me like, "What's up?" I'm like, "You little bastard!" And then he runs upstairs, and he's gone. Like, you're never finding him. So I'm like, "All right." I put the cage on a table in the living room. Open it up, put the peanut butter in. I'm like, all right, it's a matter of time before he comes down. So I'm watching the video feed from the camera while I'm outside in the car, hoping this guy comes down soon. Hour and a half later, he's still not coming down. I can hear him running around upstairs, but he's not coming down. I'm like, I got to get back to the office. It's an hour and a half away. Yeah. So I'm like, I drove to the office. Sure enough, I get to the office, clank, he gets caught. Now I see him like dancing around the cage, trying to find his way in. He finally finds his way in, and he gets caught. So I call a friend of mine. I'm like, look, can you go into the house, take this squirrel out, take him like 10 miles away and let him out. They didn't take him 10 miles away. They took him to the park down the street and let him out.
He'll be back.
Oh, he was back. A week later, my alarm goes off again, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I turn it on, and there's the squirrel again, bouncing off the walls. He's hanging on the curtains. He's trying his best to get back up. Can't get back up. So I call a buddy of mine. His name's Joe, like not Texas Joe, different guy. And I'm like, yo, look, here's what's going on. That he was planning on going up with me the following weekend anyway to patch the hole. So the squirrel just got there earlier. And he's like, all right, my buddy and I will come up tomorrow. So I went up that night, and I walk in, and remember the refrigerator's to the right as you walk in, and the squirrel is on top of the refrigerator, and I'm looking around for him, and I just see him move out of the corner of my eye. And he jumps from the refrigerator across the kitchen over onto the couch. That's got to be 20 feet. Probably, it's a huge jump.
It's a huge jump.
He just did it, no problem. And then goes upstairs. I'm like, oh my God. So we have the bedroom upstairs in the loft, as you know. And so I take the cage, I bait it. I open the door to the upstairs bedroom. The door's open, he's in there, and I can see him running around. He runs under the bed. So I put the cage down and I close the door. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to spend the night here. Middle of the night, I swore I heard him get caught. So the next morning I walk upstairs, and no, the cage has not been trapped. He didn't get caught. Okay. He's still running around. So I'm like, I was waiting for my friends to come. Meanwhile, I'll fix a few things downstairs. They come over. And we go upstairs. Remember, did you ever see The Great Outdoors? Okay.
Big Bear Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like buckets on their head. And that was us, right? 3 grown men going up to upstairs to a room that's no bigger than this room. Correct. Here, okay. And we got like brooms and sticks and stuff.
15 by 15.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Give or take,
exactly.
Right?
Not big at all. I mean, it's not small, but it's not huge. And we get in there, and they're like, we're looking for this squirrel. All that's in that room is a bed and two tables. Yeah. Right? That's it. That's all that's in that room. And 2 end tables. And we can't find this thing. And like, are you sure it's in here? I'm like, I am positive. It's been there all night. It hasn't moved. I know it's in there still. And so we start pulling the bed out. And behind the bed, near the bottom, is the squirrel hanging on for dear life, trying to like claw its way up, right? And we're like, okay, we know it's here. So my buddy decides, all right, we're going to take the mattresses off because we had 2 twin mattresses. We'll take the mattresses off. We're going to form like a dam and we're going to dam them in. And then we'll take the broom and we'll kind of brush them in. And then at the end of the dam, we put the cage. So the idea was he would run around and run right into the cage. And it worked beautifully, except for one thing. He ran in and out of the cage so fast, the cage couldn't trap him. He was like, boom, out of the cage. I could not believe how fast this thing was. Right? He's out of the cage. Now there's no bed for him to jump on, so he climbs on top of the mattresses, right? And in 2 jumps off the wall, off my shoulder, off my friend's head onto the drapes, and he's trying to climb his way up. My other buddy's swinging the broom at him, trying to get him down, and he gets him down. And he's gone because what we did was
I'm just envisioning like the 3.
Oh, it's amazing! It was amazing. This is 3 full guys up there trying to do this, and so we had to take all the bedding off, and the bedding's in a pile. And I was like, oh, we should have taken the bedding out. Of course, the squirrel's buried in the bedding. We're never finding this thing, right? So we're taking the bedding apart a little at a time, pillowcases, sheets. Finally, we see the squirrel. He sees us. He runs out of the bedding and he runs back into the dam with the mattresses. And my buddy has the broom behind it and is just like escorting the squirrel. Finally, the squirrel runs into the trap and gets him. He almost got out again. He was so fast, but that's how we got him. 45 minutes in that room with the squirrel. 45 minutes. Unbelievable. So then we took him to Blakeslee, which is about, that's a good 40 miles away, 30, 40 miles away, and let him out in the park out there. And then so later on, we go back, we go to Home Depot, we get the supplies we need, new sheetrock and whatnot. That's the sheetrock you saw that was up there, by the way, the remnants of that. And my buddy goes up there. He's like, get a trash can. I'm like, what? And he pulled the trash can, and it's just piles and piles of acorns and grass and all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It was crazy. So we sealed that up and everything's been fine since. But what a disaster that was.
That's funny, though.
So, anyway, we're not here to talk about squirrels. Although, I used to rent the place out, as you know, and I don't rent it anymore, but I used to rent it out. So I guess it's kind of a small business owners' problems, squirrels.
So, do you know what? Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Because people, this is one of those things you see online a lot. Go buy an investment property and do short-term rentals.
Yeah, go do that. Let's see how it works out for you. All right, so
yours started pretty well.
It started fantastic
because that's how we met.
Yeah, it started fantastic. I was using Airbnb, right? I tried VRBO for a little bit. I don't know why Airbnb just seemed to fit better. So I bought it we bought it in 2017 at the very end of like November 2017. I spent about 2 months. I was there every weekend fixing it up, right? It needed a lot of work, but I fixed this place up very nicely. And I'm handy. I can do that. And we started renting it out, I want to say around February of 2018.
Okay.
And it was great. It was, the winter months were a little less, people only wanted to go for the weekends because of skiing and whatnot. But the summer months were like jam packed, right? I would say from the beginning of May through the end of October, it was just like every weekend was booked and it was awesome. Right. And it was consistently like that 2018, 2019, beginning of 2020. And I would say we were pulling probably $35,000, $40,000 a year in short-term rental fees, which was fantastic, right? And then the COVID hit, and believe it or not, it got even better because people were trying to get out of New York. Poconos, if you don't know, are just south of New York, right? Maybe an hour and a half drive.
It's a straight shot
down.
Yep.
And we had this one woman and her children that wanted to stay in the house, and they stayed there for about 6 months during COVID. And they paid our full fee every night. Wow, that was COVID sucked, but we were making some money there. So then the restrictions got relaxed. She went back to New York and we started renting it out again. And for about 6 or 8 months, it was good. But then the summer came of 2021. And I started seeing, and I found out later what was going on because I started researching it. Around that time is when people started realizing that you can really screw Airbnb owners by messing with their ratings. And what I mean by that is you threaten their rating and they'll do whatever you want. And I started getting people, not everybody, I would say 1 out of 3 or 4 people would use a rating to try to get me to do things like give them free nights or this, that, or the other. Usually they wanted some type of money back or something. And I have a text I still have it today, from a woman that said, if you don't give me 2 free nights, I'm giving you a 1-star rating. And I refused. And she gave me a 1-star rating, and I contacted Airbnb. I sent them the text, and that was the point in time where they shifted their mentality, so to speak. It used to be, from what I understand, homeowner centric, and it became customer centric. So that it used to be, if there was a problem, they would all generally side with the homeowner unless it was really egregious. And then right around COVID, they shifted to siding with the consumer for almost everything. So it used to be the consumer really had to prove some really bad stuff. Now it was the consumer could say anything. It's up to the homeowner to prove it wasn't bad. So this lady leaves me a 1-star review, and I contact Airbnb. I'm like, I have a text from here. I sent it to him, and the guy's like, yeah, I can see that. That's didn't say the words, but that sucks. But I can't do anything about that. And I'm like, so you're going to let me have a 1-star review because I refused to
break your rules.
And give this person money back. And they're like, yeah, I can't help you. So I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I was like, all right, I was just a little more cautious with the people I would rent to. And then the final straw for me, there was a couple more people in between that kind of sucked. But the final straw for me was the lady. She checked in with her family on a Saturday, because our summer check-ins were always on Saturday. On Tuesday, she calls me. Now, remember, this is the summer of 2021, and if you don't remember, it was next to impossible to get a handyman out.
Oh, you couldn't.
Electrician, plumber, whatever, HVAC, impossible.
Every single one of my clients was booked 6 to 8 months out.
Exactly,
right?
exactly right.
They had more work than
they can possibly handle.
Yep.
So, and let me tell you something. It's not that much better today. It really isn't. But anyway, she calls me on Tuesday and says the upstairs toilet is clogged. Okay. Now we have a caretaker that would go out to the house, and the caretaker goes out, and she's out there for an hour and a half plunging this thing, can't figure out what's wrong, can't get it to work. And I'm like, all right, we got to call. Well, I told the lady we have to call a plumber. And she's like, well, how long is that going to take? I'm like, I don't know. I'll call them right now, but I can tell you they're not going to be there today, probably not even tomorrow, because it's so bad. And she goes, I paid for, on the phone, she's yelling at me, I paid for 2 bathrooms. I want my damn 2 bathrooms. Otherwise, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to contact this and leave you with this review and all these things, right? So I call the plumber, and sure enough, he's like, no, I can't get out there for at least 3 days. He's like, it's going to be at least Friday. He's like, I have all this other work. And I tell the lady, and she's throwing a fit, blowing a gasket and all this stuff, right? Cursing this up and down the storm. Next morning, the plumber calls me and says, I had a cancellation. And he lives in the same development that I did. And we became friends. He's a good guy. His name's Dennis. If you're in Talmenting Trails, look for Dennis. Anyway, he was like, I got a cancellation. I'll take care of it. I'll go over. Her son had stuffed a toy down, had put a toy in the toilet and flushed it. So she caused the damage that occurred. And she left me a 1-star review because I couldn't get it fixed fast enough. That's when I literally told him, okay, Dennis is on the phone. I'm like, Dennis, do me a favor. Tell the lady I'm going to call her. I called her, and I'm not a big cursor. Get the F out of my house. Goodbye. Leave my house right now. I'm refunding all your money. Get the hell out of my house. And that was the last time I rented to anybody.
Yeah.
I was done. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. No, it's funny.
And it's worse today.
Yeah.
I see some of these reviews, and I've even talked to some homeowners and how horrible it is with people, whether it's Airbnb, VRBO, or wherever. They destroy the house. They leave terrible. You can do everything right, and they'll leave you a 1-star review.
Yeah. So I used to have a camper that I rented out.
Yeah.
And once again, same story. In our case, probably 1 out of every 10 is a bad experience, right?
That's about right. Yeah.
The other 9 are fine, right? But what I will give the site that we used is if there was anything wrong with the camper when it came back, like it literally didn't matter.
Yeah.
I could contact them and go, hey, we found this damage. Here's a picture of it.
Yeah.
They would go get an estimate to repair it.
Really?
I would send them the estimate, and they dock their security deposit.
Wow.
Like literally, I never had to wait for money. Like they would literally wire me money before I had the repairs done, as long as I had the estimate, right? So we had a guy, and it was funny because he returned the camper when I wasn't home. So like it was sitting in the street.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really doing my normal routine with it.
Yeah, your
So-
due diligence, yeah.
Correct. So like a couple of days later, I'm like, okay, I have to move this thing. But I go up, I'm up in my daughter's bedroom and I look down at the camper and I'm like, why is the skylight crushed?
What?
So I take the camper, I pull it into my driveway, I go get a ladder, I crawl up and I look at it. And not only is that crushed, the AC unit is tilted and there's rips in the liner up top.
They went under a bridge that they shouldn't have gone under.
Either a bridge or a tree.
Yeah.
Like the trees.
Tree maybe, yeah.
The trees are more likely because
you're right.
it looked like scratch marks, right? So I messaged the guy and I'm like, hey, did you drive under a tree or something because there's damage to the camper? And he goes, no, I don't know anything about it.
Oh, what you're talking about, sir? No, not that me.
So I message him back and I'm like, listen, I'm going to have to file a claim with, the site and go have it repaired and all that stuff. So I go up and get an estimate. So their security deposit is only like $500 or $1,000. The estimate to repair everything that was damaged with
More
the
than
camper, it was like $2,400. So I filed the claim. They immediately send me the $1,000 security deposit that the guy had. And then they call me 2 days later from the insurance company and they're like, hey, we see that there's a discrepancy between the repairs. And they're like, are you still taking it to the place you got the estimate from? And I was like, sure. They're like, okay, we'll wire you the money later today.
Wow.
And they're like, just if there's anything else, call us, right? So as we go in to get it repaired, the guys found something else that was damaged, like another $400.
Jeez.
So I literally emailed the insurance company. I'm like, hey, they found this as well that's related to the damage. Money was in my account that afternoon.
That's crazy.
I was like,
so,
but that's the thing. Like, that's the type of company that I would want to.
That's who you want to work with,
yes,
right? And,
right? Like,
and VRBO may be that way. I'm not sure. I never really worked with them. I've heard good things about them. Airbnb used to be like that. We did have an issue early on. They took care of it pretty quickly. Later on, these people weren't bad. They were just slob. They weren't doing anything hurt, but I walk in because the cleaning service we were using, the lady was out of town, so I was going to go up to just straighten up and whatnot. And I walk in. It was a day and a half after they checked out because I couldn't get up that day. So I think they checked out on Sunday and I came up on Tuesday or something. I walk in and all the lights are on, number one. Okay, fine, whatever. All the lights are on. But I see this gigantic trash bag. I mean, that thing had to be this tall, right? Just filled with bottles of liquor and stuff. And something oozing out of the bottom of it.
Oh, that's the
all over the floor.
That's the
right.
best.
I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a problem to clean up. And I see, this is before the renovations, and I see burn marks on the floor from cigarettes and stuff like that. I'm like, oh great, they were smoking in the house too. Lovely. And I go in the other room, the back door's wide open, and it's been open for a day and a half. So who the hell knows what the hell crawled into the house, right? And then I go upstairs and the water is running in the shower. It's been running for a day and a half, or at least a day and a half since. I was like, what the heck did these people do? And so I call Airbnb and I'm like explaining everything to them. And they're like, well, is there anything damaged? And I said, well, the floor has those burn marks. I guess that's really the only technical damage. And they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, I'm going to have to spend like 3 times as much money to get this place clean.
Meanwhile,
my electric bill zoom, my water bill zoom, who knows what came in and out of the house. And you're telling me there's nothing? No, there's nothing we can do because there's no damage. Ah, so frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's really, we had issues with people returning the camper like dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime there was any type of damage. Huh?
That's a cleaning fee.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's fantastic.
But we wouldn't even add it, right? Like there were a couple of people where minor things had gone wrong. Something was damaged, a handle, like it's a damn camper. Like it's going to fail. Right. Like it's an apartment on wheels that's designed for, I think when I was talking to the guy, he said they design campers for 16 trips, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Then they want them to start falling apart.
Wow.
That's why the warranty is the way it is. So they calculate the average trip the consumer takes which is like for a year. So they warranty everything for 3 years so that you can fit in the 16 trips and then stuff is going to start breaking.
Nice.
And that's just, as a camp owner, you know stuff is going to start breaking. So you just start preparing for it, right? Like every time we would take the camper somewhere, I knew when we got back home that I would have 2 to 3 hours of repairs to do when we got home.
Right.
It's just part of owning a camper.
Part of owning a camper. Wow. Good to know.
But yeah, I would hands down use that company again after my experience with them.
That's great.
Yeah. But I've heard the Airbnb horror stories now, and I'm like,
it's a shame because it was great. It was great. If they were great people at first.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what happened.
We were thinking about doing the same thing until I heard your horror stories, and then 2 other people that I know started telling me the same thing, and I'm like, now I may just buy a long-term rental, right, instead of short-term.
You don't make as much money, but you also don't have the headaches either.
Correct. If you found this clip interesting, make sure to go listen to the full podcast. There's lots more content there.